this election day, of course, we were just talking about this. Control of Congress is also on the line, also very important.
Sure is. And KCAL political reporter Tom Wade tracking the balance of power in the U.S. House and Senate. Tom?
That's right. Both the House and Senate tonight, the majorities are up for grabs. So let's take a look at our map as we kind of work our way through the country. A few high-profile races that CBS News has been projecting. Ted Cruz of Texas, Republican there, he has been projected to win re-election there. So let's take a look at the U.S. Senate right now. As the projections go, 36 seats for the Democrats, 47 for the Republicans. Of course, they want to cross that 50-seat margin to get the majority. Right now, coming into tonight, the Democrats had a 52-seat majority, but they are defending a number of seats, and they've already had one seat flipped to the Republican side in West Virginia. They are defending others in Ohio, a red state, and in Montana as well. So we'll see if they're able to defend those seats. Likely, according to the polls, they were struggling to do so. All right, in the House, everybody's up for re-election. As we just heard Ross Palumbo talking about, there are 4 seats here in Southern California, key races that could determine the balance of power in the House. We'll see how those play out. Right now, we have 173 seats projected for the Democrats, 190 for the Republicans. The magic number is 218 to maintain control there. Those seats, we may not know who has majority until tomorrow or even for days, as all of the votes are counted here in California and across the country. Some of these races are razor thin. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Tom. And I am joined by our panelists, Jessica Levinson and Sara Sadhwani. Well, you've been listening to how close that these races are, and usually are, especially now when it comes to the presidential race. Do you expect there will be legal challenges? Jessica?
Absolutely. Yes. There have already been a ton of legal challenges. So right. There are a bunch of pre-election litigation trackers, and I'm updating it constantly. And there are different flavors of these types of challenges. And some are who can vote? Are people properly registered? Some are did you properly vote? Did you fill in your mail-in ballot? Lots on mail-in ballots. And some are, did you go to the right polling place? Did you vote at the right time? All of these pieces of litigation are going to be really important if it comes down to 1 or 2 states. If it comes down to 1 or 2 races where the balance of power for the House of Representatives is in question. After that, we tend to kind of forget about the election litigation. But the pre and the post, we really need to look at the differences between the challenges up until tonight and then the challenges that will flow later on. And we really have to focus, as we hear about these election litigation, about the difference between what people say out of court versus in court.
Okay, and I know you want to weigh in on this, Sara, too, but I also want to put the question out there. I mean, how valid are they? How do they hold? If we announce winners tonight, which we can do, right. Aren't they still considered winners? And then you make the challenge, and after that, things may change?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there could be challenges after. There's actually already been almost 200 lawsuits that have already been filed. Now, this is a part of, a part of the playbook that Donald Trump and many of the Republicans of the party had advanced back in 2020. And of course, it has evolved since that time. And these are really come to be known as zombie lawsuits, these baseless claims that largely have been thrown out of court thus far. But they're challenging everything from whether or not members of the armed services can vote from abroad to questions around provisional ballots, procedures for ballot certification or verification, which is another key component for those vote by mail ballots.
How difficult do you think it will be to prove? You mentioned that overseas, our service people, I mean, they have until, what, a certain amount of time to actually get their ballots in and have them counted. So what's the grounds? How do you prove these so-called illegalities, if you will? Or
if I could just go back to the prior question for a minute. Right now, everything on the board, these are projected winners. So we don't have a winner to unwind until these are certified elections. So you absolutely can say, we think a state is going to go for Trump or Harris or name another member of the House. But you absolutely can still go to court. We have in federal law and state law, we have all of these different pieces of all these different snapshots of time when you can go and say, I think there's a problem with the tabulation, or I think there's a problem with the way that people were forced to sign the ballot.
Even though a party can come out and say, oh, we won, we're projected to be the winners.
Good for you, you won and you said it and we projected it, but until it's certified, it's not final.
That's right.
And in terms of proving, I think what we've seen is you have to come forward with evidence, right? That's why we really need to focus on the difference between there's voter fraud or there were systemic problems and what is said in the declarations that are actually filed in court.
And we do have timelines for that, right? I mean, we're talking about certification. Isn't that in December sometime?
Yeah, here in California, it's about a month out from this election. And that makes sense, right? I mean, especially in these last several elections, it's sometimes taken weeks to actually count all of the ballots, especially those that might be still coming in. People could still have dropped their ballots in the mail today. If they get postmarked, it might be a little while before they hit the registrar's office and actually get counted. And we have most certainly seen in the last couple elections that when those ballots come in, it can certainly shift the outcome of the race.
And you said it last couple of elections. Remember when things were much simpler?
Yeah, but we didn't have as many chances to vote then.
No,
right?
we didn't.
Right?
That's
now
true.
we have far more expansive voting
Yeah,
laws.
almost out to a month.
Yeah,
All right.
that's right.
Sara, Sadhwani, Jessica Levinson, thanks. We will join you again later in the evening. So thanks for being with us at this hour.
Thanks for having us.
Juan, back to you.
All righty, thanks so much. Well.